put on my presentation voice.
Oh,
Go down
I
by
don't have a
go down by
presentation.
an octave. Let's slow down.
I don't have a presentation voice.
Well, a fun fact about me. I guess I use a very cliche one that I always use, which is that I failed driving 8 times.
Okay, thank you. A few weeks ago, I was bitten by a rat. And I think no one I've met so far has had similar experiences. So, yeah. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Suits Goes Live Perfectly Balanced. Once again, my name is Christabel, and my co-host Sean and I are joined today by Ashley and Ming Han. Today, we are talking about life in law school beyond academics, including subclubs, interest groups, and competitions. Subclubs are a subsidiary of Law Club and include MVC, CJC, and PVG. Interest groups include Justified, Spaces, and ELSA. Would you all like to introduce yourselves?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Ming Han, and I'm a rising year 2, to use the very annoying kind of phrase. And okay, looking down the some things I've done in year 1, I think it's been a fine year for me. Not a lot of ups and downs. I think I've enjoyed my experience, and I also stay in Ridgeville Residential College, and I think from the past 2 or 3 years, my cohort is one of the more populous law populations in Ridgeville. There's a total of 5 of us, and that's been a very good experience. It's a lot of fun hanging with people, and both in and out of law. And a fun fact about me. I guess I use a very cliche one that I always use, which is that I failed driving 8 times.
Okay, thank you. Ashley? Hi everyone, I'm Ashley, and just like Ming Han, I just finished my year 1, and my experience has been similar. It's been really fun. I got to meet a lot of people, I made a lot of friends, and I think there's been a lot of ups and downs, seeing as to how law school has been really stressful, but my friends have really held tight through the tough times. Yeah, and I actually don't stay on campus, I stay at home, and I don't stay very far away, so it's not really a issue. Yeah, and I guess like a fun fact about me that I've been telling people recently is that a few weeks ago, I was bitten by a rat. And I think no one I've met so far has had similar experiences. So, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ashley. So maybe we can move into our topic for today, and we can discuss what sub-clubs, interest groups, or competitions have you done or have you partaken in your year 1 of law?
Okay, well, I can start first. Okay, so I'm in quite a few, but so I think the one that's taken up the majority of my time is MDC, or Mooting and Debating Club. I believe that's one of the sub-clubs that Chris just mentioned. And well, basically the name gives itself away. It's a club for people who want to do like mooting and sometimes debating, but majority of the time it's mooting. So for myself, I've taken a very bold and somewhat unconventional step of doing an international moot in year 1, and I think although that has been taken up a bit of fair chunk of my time, but I think it's been quite a rewarding experience. And I do encourage people who sort of have this area of interest, and that you want to explore like advocacy before you want to when you're entering law school. I think that there's nothing putting you off from trying advocacy in law school. I mean, it's the end of the year, like luck mood, but beyond that, there's plenty of other opportunities and different areas of law, and all of these, are nuances you can explore. And I don't think that just because you feel that you're inexperienced with law school, that shouldn't stop you from doing the mood. I mean, how you get the experiences by doing these things, and I think for me that has been a very rewarding experience. And well, what other subclubs? I think the majority of the other subclubs, I think Ashley can touch upon this a little bit later, but the majority of other subclubs are not very heavy in terms of activities in year 1. So I'm also in I think SLR, which is the Singapore Law Review, and I think also ELSA, but I think so far there's been only 1 or 2 activities. Yeah.
Okay, so I think different from Ming Han, I wasn't in MDC. I am actually in PBG. So that's the sub club that I've been the most involved in. And how PBG works is that they have various projects. So the one that I'm in is called Project Law Help, and if I'm not wrong, like what we're trying to do, like the end product is actually a brochure where we give to self-employed individuals, and it's aimed to really help these people like understand the regulations and the laws that apply in their sector. And for me, I think it was a really good experience because I get to meet new people, and we have like small committees of groups of people working together. And so what I did was I did research, and I guess similar to what Ming Han has said just now, like you don't really have to feel like, oh, you're in year 1 or that you can't contribute much, because everyone really comes in as like on equal footing, and everyone just plays a role, have fun and stuff. So that has been really fun. And then apart from PBG, I'm also in CDRC, which is Collaborative Dispute Resolution Club. And I guess the commitment isn't that high. It actually really depends on what you want to achieve. So for me, I took the opportunity to take up a competition, like a mediation competition, which I can talk about more later. But yeah, so it's very dependent on what you want to do, and there isn't really much. You can choose to be active, or you could just choose to take it as an opportunity to really understand what alternative dispute resolution is, and learn some things along the way. Yeah. And other than that, I'm also in house comm. So I think during law camp or like during orientation, you get the opportunity to meet like the houses that you're in. So there's 4: Grigos, Azura, Vermilion, and Solaris. Yeah, so like we have just a few house committee planned activities, and so yeah, I'm in that with a few of my friends, and it's been really fun because it's just really just been working with friends.
Actually, Sean is also in house comm. How has that been for you?
I guess my experience in house comm has been pretty good as well, because at the end of the day, most of the all of the comm members knew each other and were sort of like friends before we decided to apply for house comm. So I guess the dynamic was already there. And it has been just really fun, like designing stuff. For example, we are working on a house shirt, spoilers, and we are planning some other stuff for Law Camp and Freshers Week, but I will leave it to the events so that you can find out what we are planning. It's been fun. Yeah.
Actually, Sean and I are also in PBG, and we are also in the same like project group. So we are both in MPP, which is Moot Parliament Program, which has been also a quite interesting experience, I think. So the way that PBG and CJC work is that they are both large sub-clubs which have multiple different projects under them, and you can, I guess, choose and will be assigned based on availability which project you would like to join. So there was like law help that Ashley mentioned, MPP, legal clinics, and these are all under PBG. I believe under CJC there's like CJC forensics and CJC class, I think. Yeah. So actually, Ming Han, just now you mentioned that you were in ELSA and there were like 1 or 2 activities. Could you maybe elaborate a bit more about that?
So, I think ELSA has many projects under its wings, and so you get split into this like sub-project groups similarly to how things are done in other sub-clubs. So the project I was involved in is like hosting and writing a research workshop specifically for research on environmental law, which I guess is one of the focuses of ELSA. And so what I personally had to do was, I guess number one, like liaise with the people who were going to conduct this talk, and also I guess do a little bit of the background admin. But honestly, it's not a very huge commitment, and I believe the project director will take very good care of you, like just get you on board and stuff.
That's great, that's great. So actually having been involved in so many subclubs, because the commitment hasn't been so bad, so it hasn't been that difficult to juggle all of them?
I think for me personally, I'm quite lucky in that like the people I've worked with are like good and understanding people, and the work itself is not very demanding, and I think it's a good balance to strike between your social life, cats, and doing some of these activities. I do think that it's not like so scary, or you hear the big word that's like running a project, but actually it's you have a lot of people working with you, and the part that you do will contribute meaningfully, but I don't think it will like really be a huge like commitment in that sense. So I think it's good to really have a balance of activities in law school, and not just be everything be at cats. And I think these subclubs are a good place for you to explore some of your maybe auxiliary interests in law school. Yeah.
Actually, you have any thoughts about juggling like all the different subclubs you're in, as well as like your cats?
I think like it's actually quite similar to in JC and secondary school. So like in JC I did those community projects. Yeah, like I guess it's very similar. I think a lot of people would have similar experiences as me. So you like either manage a project on your own, or you could just be a participating member. I guess it's kind of similar. Like in like example PVG, I was just a member, and compared to other people who took on more leadership based roles, it's really just how much you want to commit your time to it. And definitely it's a commitment, so you need to balance it out. But something I really enjoy like coming into uni, it's everything is kind of optional in a sense. Like you get a chance to really do what interests you. So if you're interested in pro bono, go ahead. If you're interested in mooting, then join MDC, or just find out more. It doesn't have to be you join and then you're stuck. Like it's really open, and it really gives you the opportunity to like not just explore that interest, but also do something that you enjoy outside of academics, like applying what you learn in class kind of things. So I guess juggling it has been, for me, at times a bit difficult, because I'm not great with like time management sometimes. Yeah, and during more stressful periods, like maybe finals or something, it might kind of all come together. Like you realize a lot of things are due at the same time. Like for me, I did my mediation competition, and it kind of clashed with a lot of my lab module submissions. So that was really a stressful period of time. But I mean, it comes with everything that when you take on a commitment, you have to stick to it, and it's really fulfilling. So it also helps me like find out what are better ways to manage my time, and it also forces me to like prioritize. So during these periods of times, I won't be able to go out as much, or I won't be able to watch as many movies at home or watch as much Netflix. But yeah, like it forces you to prioritize, and I think in law school that's very important. Yeah, like I guess in other episodes you'll also get to hear more about the workload of law school, and if you don't prioritize, there's pretty much, I think, no way you really get by easy. So yeah, so I think juggling has been a struggle, but it's been a fulfilling journey for me to really learn how to do. Yeah.
That's great. So actually, talking about your mediation competition, can we ask, why did you sign up for it? Like, was there like a specific reason, or like what made you choose to sign up? Because it can be quite scary.
Yeah. Like I think for me, I kind of realized that I'm not between mooting and mediation kind of competitions. Like I'm not really one that enjoys mooting, and like during like luck, it also made me realize that maybe it's not something I want to explore. So I decided to explore ADR, which is alternative dispute resolution, first. And so I signed up for like a beginner competition, which CDRC at I think it once in Sem 1 and once in Sem 2 they'll send like messages to promote like you can sign up for these competitions, and then you go through auditions, so you can sign up then. And then I decided to just try it out because many people were, and I was like, hey, okay, let's go. So me and my friends, we signed up together, and then I went to an audition, and during the audition we did it on Zoom. I think maybe now we do it in real life because of like safe distancing, but I did mine on Zoom, and so I was paired up with another person. And how negotiating competitions work is that you have one client and counsel pair, and then you have a mediator. So each team kind of has 3 people. It depends, but my competition there were 3 people, and then the goal is really to understand each other's interests. Like they'll give you a problem, and then you have to kind of take the opportunity, like the 1 hour you sit down, and then you understand each other's interests and come up with like creative solutions. Yeah. So my audition was kind of scary because like I have no experience at all. I have no idea what I was getting myself into, but I met a really nice senior who kind of like gave me actually quite a lot of help, like taught me like the basics. So I went for that, and then I was really lucky to get into the Mediate Guru, VIMC Mediate Guru online competition. Yeah, I think it's like a Indian competition. It's like hosted by like a school or an organization in India, something like that. So it's one of the beginner competitions, and then me and my group, we spent quite a lot of time preparing with our coach Shannon. She's year 3, really good coach. Yes, have to say it, but yeah, she's very committed. She's very nice, and then she taught us how to like ask good questions and like test solutions and stuff. I don't really know how to say it, but yeah, she taught us quite a lot, and then we had a lot of sessions where we sparred against other teams. So they give us like mock problems, and then we'll try and like work it out, and then like our coach was like Shannon, she'll give us comments on how we can do better. Yeah, so that's what I did for my competition. And then I think it was a very stressful period of time because everything was very new, and many sleepless nights because all of us are very busy. We can only practice at like 12 o'clock in the morning, so we would spar until 1, and then we have to talk to Shannon until like maybe 2, and then the next day there was school. So yeah, it was really tiring, but very worth it. So yeah, I think don't let being new to something like deter you from trying it out. And like Ming Han said just now, like if you never try it, you know, you'll never really know. So if you think that there might even be some interest there, just go for it. Everyone has to start somewhere, and yeah, beginner competitions are really a good place to start. Yeah.
So there was like a lot of support lah when you were signing up and throughout the process.
Yeah, I think my friends play a big role in like encouraging me. So I think without them, I really wouldn't have signed up. But I don't regret. And I think moving into the next sem, like year 2 sem 1, I'll definitely try to like take on more competitions, and like you know, maybe I could do something along the lines of ADR. Yeah, I think that'd be nice.
Actually, Ming Han, what about you? Like when you signed up for your first competition?
Yeah, my process, like the audition process, is quite similar for both Moots and ADR competitions. So they'll send out like a blast of all the available competitions for the semester, either during the summer or winter holidays, and then you go through an internal audition by the school. I think for MDC, it's a little bit more like formal in a sense, so it's a bit scarier. So there's like faculty and some of the mooting seniors who will be the internal auditioners. But after that, you probably apply to the competition that you most want to join. And for me, so I want to do something semester 2 because I felt that, you know, life was getting a little bit too dreary. But I honestly, that's not a solution to that problem. But so I signed up for something, and I picked a competition whereby the timeline doesn't clash with other academic like due dates, because I was a bit scared in that regard. I think Ashley has also touched upon that. And so, and thereafter it was into the preparation, like similarly, like it's the same process of getting your coaches, doing practice, preparing the materials, and doing a little bit of research. And you have so usually for mooting competitions, so it's 2 stages, whereby you first have your written submissions, your memorandums, and then maybe around a month later you have your oral rounds, where you actually speak, and this is the body of the competition, but you also have to do your written submissions first. And for me, it was very, very lucky to have been able to find 2 excellent coaches who were willing to take so much time. They're both practicing lawyers, so I was actually really, really surprised at how dedicated they were at teaching the team. And similarly, because everyone's quite busy, we will like start training at maybe 10 or 11 at night, and then it will go on all the way until 2 or 3 a.m. And then this happened for like a month or 2 between like right before the written submissions and then right before the oral rounds, which like other periods are a bit more intense than the rest. And I honestly think like it's an excellent experience. And for me, it was also one of those like beginner mooting competitions, and I think I really learned a lot from that in terms of both like the competition aspect of things, but also like working with a team, because we participated in a team of 4, so 2 council pairs, so first and second chair. And also I guess like looking at how practice is like, both in the sense that what will I do if I'm a litigation practitioner, like how does it feel like to appear in court with judges. And I did that like before the LARC moot at the end of the year. And secondly, like because I had 2 coaches who were already practicing, I could see like they would sometimes share snippets about their life, and I think this was really like the highlight. And honestly, I really cannot thank them enough about like the amount of time, the effort they were willing to spend with us. Yeah.
Actually, Sean, you also participated in a competition, right?
Yep.
So how was that experience for you?
Mine was slightly different from what Ashley and Ming Han have shared, because I joined this competition called NAMCO in is it called NAMCO in semester 1, but the difference here was that we didn't really sort of have coaches, because it wasn't, how should I phrase it? It wasn't sort of like an official, quote unquote official competition by the school. It's more of this, it's an international mood, but there were no auditions. There were no need for auditions. You could sign up with a team of like 4 to 5 people, and you get thrown into the deep end basically. There's no, you have to self-source your coaches if you even want a coach in the first place. And yeah, there are no auditions, so there's no sort of minimum bar of quality you have to pass. So my OG just went, okay, look, here's a mood, let's clown a little bit in year 1, so let's sign up for it. And we got smacked really hard by the opposing team. We learned a lot, but as year 1s in Sem 1 who didn't really know how to mood or didn't really know how to do research for the matter, we kind of got wrecked pretty badly. To be fair, I think we performed better than we expected, but we were kicked out from, not kicked out, we lost in the first we lost in the first round, so it's not really a good bar. I mean, we learned a lot in the sense of how to present during a mood, your court etiquette and whatever, but it wasn't really sort of like as glorious as Ashley or Ming Han's one, because we just lost straight up. Yeah, so we learned a lot, but if what you're looking for is like, oh, I won this competition, no, yeah, we got destroyed. Yeah,
I think it really depends also. Like for me, because we did a very beginner competition, so actually a lot of the people that we competed against also didn't really know what was going on.
Oh,
So I guess like my group was really lucky, because
yeah.
like we just went out against people who didn't know even more than us, and like
yeah.
it's very discouraging. I think when you just start, like everything's very difficult, because
Yeah.
like for us, our coach, she's amazing at MIDI. She went for like ICC Paris, basically the that's it. Like that's the peak. If I'm not wrong, that's the peak competition you could go for. And then most people just go there and then they just end off their competition career there.
Yeah.
And like she got a lot of her friends who also did international mediation competitions to spar with us. And like I kid you not when I say when I sparred with them I wanted to cry because like mediation is just really you ask people questions about what they want and like you kind of get a sense of like example the dispute might be about money, so you ordered something and then they didn't pay, or like you ordered for something but then the thing malfunctioned. So like it's about money, but money might not be the solution. It's really how you like argue your way, not argue, sorry. It's really how you like talk to the other party and like wiggle your way out into an interesting solution. So like when I just started out, it was so discouraging because each round was about 45 minutes, 1 hour, and I think at like 15 minutes you're like, oh, I don't think there's much to go on with, but you don't have a choice. You just keep going on and then they'll just keep asking you questions and keep grilling you. But I guess I mean that's kind of part of the fun lah. Yeah, like I think my group and I like we worked very hard, but we're also very lucky to have gone for a competition where everyone was really very nice and the winning part wasn't as much fun as like the prep. So like when me and my teammates look back, like it's always about how remember that time when we got grilled by like Shannon and like Nick or whoever, and like what we learned out of it. So like it makes the winning more like not really fun, but it makes it more memorable because of what you've really gone through. So the setbacks really like play a big role, and yeah, so I guess as much as being wrecked is part of it, but yeah, it all works out in the end. It's just if you give up, then that's the ending you choose for yourself.
Yep.
Honestly, I think actually is quite right in that it's sort of, and this is something that both my seniors in the team and both my coaches have been telling us, that is honestly you shouldn't go into a competition with the mindset of I'm going to win this, because that's actually not very healthy, and you should take all of these opportunities as like a way to learn something. And if you go in with that mindset and if you happen to win, then there's just another cherry on top. But if you go in with the laser focus of I want to win this, then you might get very blindsided by things, and you work out with not a very good experience of the whole thing. But whereas if you go in with the thinking like, oh, I'm going to try my hand, I don't really care about the result, and that might in turn lessen the stress, better your performance, and in fact lead you to have a better experience overall. I think.
Yeah.
So Sean, next sem, try again.
I'll
Next
think
sem,
about it.
Sean is going to win.
No. Yeah, we went up against year 2s and 3s.
Oh yeah.
As year
But
1s.
it's fun lah.
So it was
Yeah.
it was fun, but yeah, our team mentality was sort of, if the idea is there, so be it, Yeah.
So I guess the consensus is just don't be afraid to try.
Yeah.
Just
And-
whack.
Honestly,
I
that's
guess-
most of law
yeah.
school.
Just whack.
Yeah, like don't worry so much because there's really not much worrying will really get you.
Yeah.
So if you're scared, just try. Cause if you never try, then that's the outcome. Like you'll
Yeah.
never know. So
You-
just go for
You
it.
miss all shots you don't take.
Then we're
so-
getting real inspirational now.
But I think there's a slightly less, stressful part about sub clubs, like all your IFGs or your interest groups and whatnot. So are you guys in any interest group / interfaculty games? Yeah,
We didn't have IFG this year.
we did.
No, we didn't have the official one. You
I
know the
mean-
one that's like NUS wide one.
Yeah,
we didn't. But we
as
had like Met Law.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You wanna talk about it?
Oh, I joined Met Law. I joined volleyball and captain's ball. I think there's like other sports like
Yes.
touch rug. There was tennis. There was ulti, like frisbee. There was what else is there? I think there was a few more.
Was there
There's
soccer?
e-games.
There was
there were
e-games
e-games
also,
too,
yeah.
and
there was
Brawl
actually-
Stars.
There are those two. So I only joined volleyball and captain's ball, and I think it was really fun actually. Honestly, I went in thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go and embarrass myself because I don't know how to play like volleyball or whatever. But everyone's really like very supportive. Yeah, like when I went there, everyone's mindset was, let's just all have fun together. Yeah, we didn't go in thinking, oh, we're gonna win, we're gonna like trash the mad kids or whatever. Our mentality is kind of like, if we show up, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Let's just go there, have a good time. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my time there. Yeah, playing with seniors and everything. I got to know some of the seniors as well. So yeah, Ming Han?
I didn't play any of the Mad Law things because it just happened to clash with the competition. I guess for interest group side, I think Sean can share about his interest group and the keyboards and tinkering. But for myself, I'm the sort of the head of an interest group for law arts, visual arts, and I think this is because this law arts thing sort of like went into dormancy with COVID and everything because it was very, very hard for people to meet and for there to be performances and workshops and things like that. So it's a bit hard to run it during the COVID times. But now that things are getting better and resuming like pre-COVID activities, so I guess I will encourage everyone to find something that they like, and if you want to join lots, I welcome you with open arms. Yeah, and then hopefully you get to do something fun this semester. Yeah.
But you say you're in visual arts, right?
Yeah, specifically visual arts, but it's a big organization to do it. It's honestly nothing commitment. I think we aim to have like 1 or 2 activities a semester, like sort of tangentially related to the interest. So I believe for the poetry and the literary arts side, there was an activity organized by Human. I think everyone contributed a little bit of like written stuff, some drawings. There was like a nice little display done up in school. So hopefully we get to do more of that next year.
I think there's going to be one. Like, if I'm not wrong, I heard that there's a arts week at the
Yes.
start
Oh,
of
yeah,
sem.
yeah.
Yes.
At the start of sem 1, yeah. So, like, I think for literary arts wise, like Human was telling me the other day about how they might be doing more poetry related stuff as well. Yeah, and like they are considering like workshop. I'm not sure how much of this is actually going to happen. It really depends on like faculty as well. But yeah, so actually I think it's starting to open up, and if your interest is there, then or even if you're not sure, just go and participate.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I can talk about mechanical keyboards. There's this. You'll find that there's a group in school that uses mechanical keyboards, because what you realize is that the rationale behind it is that you type a lot. You type your notes, you type basically almost everything that you do in law school is on your computer, on your laptop, and most of the time you want to make that experience slightly better, and basically this group of obsessed individuals in law school just channel their interest through mechanical keyboards because it makes it sound, it makes it a nicer typing experience. So there's an interest group,
What's it called?
I believe it's called Spacebar, which
Pun intended.
pun intended,
Just saying.
which basically like it's a small little community that talks about custom mechanical keyboards, how you can build your own keyboards, different switches, how do you make it sound nicer, how do you make it feel nicer, etc. It's a bit obsessive, but if you're into it, just join. They're quite nice generally. And there's like free stuff. Yes.
Free stuff.
Yeah, you get like
What free stuff?
you get free loop and stuff for the switches, like to make it smoother. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you
And
get to
you
build your
get-
own keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
like
get to learn how
they
to make.
provide you the materials?
No, you have to. Of course, you have to source the materials
Just the
yourself,
lube,
but
they just give you the lube.
they'll give you the lubing kit. So like, there's like paint. You get the paint brushes and different lube and switch pullers and whatnot. Yeah, so it's quite fun. It's a bit of tinkering if you have never done it. Yeah, you can learn how to solder stuff.
Oh,
I know
that's
we're in law
nice.
school, but you know.
I mean, even more so, like, because you're in law school, you don't get to do this kind of
Yeah,
things. It's like,
it's quite fun.
interest gives you the opportunity.
Yeah, it's something different. It's not something you do every day. Yeah, as a law student. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in any of these subclubs or interest groups, you can come down during our last day of Freshers Week to the Student Life Fair, during the subclub fair, where we will have booths of each and every subclub and interest group, and you can come down and talk to the seniors and learn more about them. Yeah. And also, if you come back in 2 weeks for episode 5, we'll be featuring guests from one of the interest groups called Spaces. Yeah, and you can learn more. So hope to see you in 2 weeks. And on that note, we thank you guys for joining us this week. And if you guys have any questions that you would like to ask us or Ashley or Ming Han specifically, do keep a lookout on the NUS Law Orientation Instagram page for opportunity to ask us questions. Hope to see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So scarred.
Wait, sorry. Can you cut out the entire like Sean shitting on himself?
Why?
It's so sad. It's so sad. You know when you say things like "we got trashed, absolutely wrecked," and then the three of us are like, "Oh,
I mean,
should cut that
I'll
out."
use my discretion, but yeah.
You should dub it over.
Like you must make the transition super smooth. So it's like we got absolutely trashed, but it was very fun.
As in, I did say it was fun, no?
I think you said more of the
You said,
the bad
yeah,
stuff.
like for like when I heard it, I was like, oh. Sorry, I thought I wrote down the outro somewhere, but I didn't write it down anywhere.
Good job. This is episode 3.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.